everyone, today I'm doing a little bit of a different video, or a video I've never done before, and that is showing you what books I have read so far. So we are smack dab in the middle of July, right in the middle of the year, so we are halfway throughout the year, and I thought I would show you every single book that I've read and the rating I gave them. So that is basically what this video is going to be about. So I'm just going to hold up every single book that I've talked about if I don't have the book, because some books I've either given away, some books are being lent out to a friend, and some books were library books or ebooks. So if I don't have it physically to show you in my hand, I will leave a picture right here, and I will also tell you the rating I gave the book. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what 5 books are my favorite so far. Now, those necessarily do not mean that they're going to be in my top 10 by the end of the year. A lot can change. We're only halfway through the year, people, so a lot more books have yet to be read. But I'm filming this like a week and a half before it goes up, so apologies in advance. But now, as of July 13th, I have read 49 books, and that is amazing. My goal was 40, so I've already surpassed my Goodreads goal, so I am a very, very happy camper. So today, I'm showing you the 49 books I have read and my rating. Let's just cut to the chase and get on into it. And I will be showing you them in order that I read them, because, you know, it's fun to be organized sometimes. The first book I read of 2017 was Tell Me 3 Things by Julie Buxbaum, and I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. Then I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which I gave a 5 out of 5. I read a complete trilogy. I read the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu, which has the Young Elites, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Rose Society, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5. And The Midnight Star, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which I gave a 4 out of 5. My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella, which I gave a 5 out of 5. I also listened to this. I should mention that. I will also tell you when I listen to books. Then I read Illumine and Gemina by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I gave Illumine 5 out of 5 stars, and I gave Gemina 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Edge of Everything by Jeff Giles, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5. Then The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which I gave a 5 out of 5. By Your Side by Casey West, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which I gave a 3.75 out of 5. If we're going to be really, really technical, I guess you could round it up to 4 out of 5. Then I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which I gave a 4 out of 5. I also read The City Baker's Guide to Country Living by Louise Miller, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Then I read A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which is being lent out to a friend right now, which I gave a 5 out of 5 too. Gorilla by Ashley Poston, which I gave, thinking back on it, I would give it a 5 out of 5. Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Listen to 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, which I also gave a 3.5 out of 5. When Dipple Met Rishi by Sanan Menon, and I gave this 4.5 out of 5. A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5. Alex Approximately, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5. Scythe by Neil Schusterman, which is also being lent out on a friend, and I gave that a 4 out of 5. Kill All Happies by Rachel Kahn, which I gave a 2 out of 5, sadly. This Side of Home by Renee Watson, which I gave a 3 out of 5, as well as The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr, which I also gave a 3 out of 5. Then I read the last book in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy called A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5. A Quart of Wings and Room by Sarah J. Maas, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, which is also being lent out to a friend. I got a lot of books out right now, apologize. And I gave this one a 3.75 out of 5. Then I have Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han, which I gave a 4 out of 5. The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5. Until It Fades by K.A. Tucker, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Flame in the Mist by Renee Adihe, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5. Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, which I gave a 5 out of 5 too. Birds in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Once and For All by Sarah Destin, which I gave a 4 out of 5 too. Replica by Lauren Oliver, which I also gave a 4 out of 5 too. The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albert Talley, which I gave 4.5 out of 5. Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith, which I gave a 4 out of 5 too. The Good Girl by Mary Kubika, which I gave 3.5 out of 5. Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren, which I gave a 3.75 out of 5. You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher, and I gave this a 3 out of 5. Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, and I gave this a 5 out of 5. Fireworks by Katie Cadugno, and I gave this a 2.75 out of 5. The Sandcastle Empire by Kayla Olson, again a 2.75 out of 5. Roar by Clara Carmack, and I gave this a 5 out of 5. Song of the Current by Sarah Toskler, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5. Coming Up for Air by Miranda Keelany, which I also gave a 3.5 out of 5. And finally, the last book up until this point, as of July 13th, please note that the last book I have read is Want by Cindy Pon, which I gave a 4 out of 5 to. So there you have it. Those are the 49 books of 2017 that I have read so far. So as of 2017 right now, I feel really good with my reading progress. I have read a lot of books and I've read a lot of amazing books. So I'm going to show you my 5 favorite. Now these are not going to be my top 5 favorite because that is way too hard to choose right now. These are just going to be 5 of my favorites that I have read this year so far. So I hope that's okay. I'm cheating a little bit. Either way, you'll have to wait to the end of the year to see what my top 10 favorite of 2017 are. So my first favorite is definitely going to have to go to A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I loved this book so much. It is my favorite book in the trilogy in my opinion, which is kind of a unpopular opinion. A lot of people like the second or third book. I love the first book. I'm not surprised it's not my favorite list at all because Vicious by V.E. Schwab was one of my favorites of last year. So I love this book. If you're looking for a rich fantasy world all about magic, I would highly, highly recommend this series. And beautiful character development and amazing writing. Another one of my favorites, to shake things up a little bit, I don't think this will be on a lot of people's favorite at all because I don't know, I don't think a lot of people have read it, but it's one of my favorites of the year, and that is My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Sophie Kinsella is my favorite chick lit author. I love her books, and I always say, if you're gonna read her books, listen to them. And I listened to this book, and trust me, you will love it. It is an amazing audiobook. I think Sophie Kinsella books are just meant to be listened to, in my opinion, so I love this book. If you're looking for a funny, like, finding yourself book and learning about like what you want to do for your what you want to do for a living and struggling with income and, you know, jobs and things like that, this is a perfect book for you. And throw in a dash of romance. I adored this book. So there are a ton of contemporary books that I could also mention, but I think they're being talked about a lot, so I don't really need to like say them anymore. So I want to recommend to you My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I adored this book. Another favorite from the year is one that I read actually in July, and that is Roar by Cora Carmick. I love this book to pieces. If you're looking for a really unique fantasy book all about storms and the different type of storms and these people that are stormlings that have this magic that they can battle these storms and pull like the heart out of them, this is such an amazing book. It also has great romance in it, and it's just such a unique world that I think it's just such a good book. This is the first book in a brand new series, and I adored it so much. Another book I have to mention because it is honestly one of my favorite books of the whole year is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is such an amazing sequel. This is definitely my favorite series by Cassandra Clare thus far, and it's just so good. I know it's being hyped up a lot, so I apologize if I'm mentioning it. You're like, I've already heard about this 1,000 times. I apologize, but I really, truly loved it so much. And the last book I want to talk about that's one of my favorites of the year so far is Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I am a couple years late to this bandwagon, and I am so glad I finally joined it. Very, very hesitant to join it because everybody was talking about it, but I loved it so much. If you're looking for a quick, fun sci-fi read that is very, very interesting, please check out this series. It is told in all like documents and dossiers and IM formats. There are never like pages where it has dialogue completely. It is such a unique and awesome and fast-paced book. Trust me, this book looks big, and it is, but you can read it in a couple days, hands down. It is so awesome, and I loved it so much. So there are my 5 favorites of the year so far. I have a lot of other favorites that I've read in this pile. If you're really wanting to know, a lot of my favorites are my 4.5 and 5, so I just want to share with you a quick 5 favorites so far. If you guys enjoyed like me showing you what I've read so far throughout the year, if you want another video of this by the end of the year showing you every single book I've read as well as my rating, please let me know down in the comments. I would be happy to do so. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.